In 8th grade, section 5.2, we're dealing with solving equations with variables on both sides. So you're used to the x's being one side and we're isolating it. This is the same thing, but now we have to move all the x's because now they're spread out everywhere. We have to move all the x's to one side. And then the steps from the last chapter will apply. What you do to one side, you do to the other, and you isolate the x. So you just have that extra step of moving all the x's to one side, or the variables, whatever it may be. And it doesn't matter which side I choose, okay? I just have to make sure I want to get it alone. For example, I have 5x plus 12 equals 2x. Well, I could move 2x over here, but then I would move everything to one side, leaving me with a 0, and I don't want that. What I want is to move the x's on the other side and leave everything else behind. So I'm going to take 5x and I'm going to move it here. Okay, and I do that by doing the opposite. This is positive 5x, so the opposite would be negative 5x. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So this is negative 5x. This cancels out. I bring my 12 down, and 2x minus 5x gives me a negative 3x. Okay? Because I'm adding and subtracting, I'm making sure only to relate the coefficient. And now I have the x all on one side, and now I have to get rid of its final friend, which is negative 3. Well, negative 3 is connected to x by multiplication. So I have to get rid of it by division. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So this cancels out, and it gives me 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And on the other side of the equal sign is just x. All right, so my next step is to do this. Now this is not as straightforward as this. I could move the 2x here, or I can move the 7x here. It doesn't matter which side, because I'm not going to end up with a 0 on either. So I'll just move 2x to this side. Okay, 7x minus 2x gives me 5x, and these cancel out. So whatever I want to move to the other side, I just do the opposite. And I make sure to link it. Now I can't just do negative 2x to 3 because 3 doesn't have the x. I have to do it to the one that has the x. 7x minus 2x gives me 5x, and I bring down the plus 3. These cancel out, so I only have 23 on this side. Okay? And then for this, I have negative 3 and negative 3. These cancel out. So because it's connected to x by positive 3, the opposite is minus 3. And then what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 23 minus 3. This leaves me with 5x on this side. And 23 minus 3 is 20. So I'm going to move this over here. Okay? And the 5 is being connected to x by multiplication. So that means that the opposite, to get rid of 5, I have to divide 5. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I have to divide this by 5. This cancels out, and I end up with x equals 4. All right? So go ahead and try page 232, page 232, numbers 2, 8, sorry. 232, 2, and 8. And I'll see you in class.